Tina, my character, is that she's in analytics, and that Topher's character is in polls. And in some ways, that represents, Tina represents sort of the future of how they kind of run these campaigns, and sort of treats Topher like he's in the past. America in general right now is suffering from sort of a deeper disease. And so I think that the film is ultimately highlighting that, our whole sort of system of how we do things is essentially dead and corrupt, that there's so many sort of circuitous ways through things that are no longer really about the people or the politicians running, that it's, increasingly sort of a business and a game of ego and power, and just how dangerous that is. Anytime we can kind of, use comedy or the arts to kind of shed a light in a greater sense about the absurdity of the situation that we find ourselves in, is always great. I personally am, and it feels like the movie is sort of aligned with this, which is like, I don't think it's really about, blaming anyone or creating, additional divisiveness, or sort of anybody ever saying this is right and this is wrong. I think it's, you're like, this is stupid and this is smart. I think that it's really sort of the joy, in a way, of, great movies, is that we kind of can see things in sometimes new ways that we wouldn't be able to, because we can kind of hit it from left to center and be like, oh, right, this whole system is insane. When Gary, Steve Carell's character, sort of sees this very, substantive kind of war hero speaking to his own sort of democratic beliefs, he kind of decides to come to town and sort of run a campaign to try to get him elected and kind of flip this otherwise red state blue. And he's promptly followed by Rose Byrne's character, who comes in and she says, like, no, we're going to keep it red. And it really ends up sort of comedically highlighting the absurdity, the surreal way in which sort of we've begun to run elections. It's always a good day at work if you're getting to kind of, be thrown zingers from Jon Stewart to deliver to Steve Carell. That always is like a nice day at work. You feel like, wow, how lucky am I to have landed here with such heavyweights. And, there's a lot of funny people. And it's fun to, be a part of that team. Boy, did I feel like a dummy when I sort of assumed the whole thing was a backlot. I think they just so happened to really find like the perfect kind of, isolated piece of town that really kind of looks exactly like the script. I mean, the opening and reading the first few pages, and, Bob Seger comes in singing Against the Wind, and right away you kind of like really picture what the town looks like. And then landing here from New York and seeing it, I was like, holy, they really brought this script to life. But I think a lot of it also was pre-existing, and a lot of it is fully built. So I think they really did a great job. John is really loved by his crew and the actors. I think that since he, has been one himself, he sort of has a real sense of that, moments are, like, each small moment is very important, and also kind of what he doesn't need. It's almost like you can really see him in real time building the edit in his mind. And it seems like he's very conscientious of almost like, okay, everybody, those people can go home, and now we're going to be over here. And so I think everybody really always appreciates somebody that has kind of is holding the big picture in their head in that way. He has this sort of seemingly limitless supply of political zingers and directions to take things in. So it's very exciting in that it feels so all-purpose, that you're with one of the funniest people of all time, and also one of the most brilliant. And as particular to things that are in the realm of sort of politics and backdoor dealing, something that frankly is not really my deepest interest level, is it's incredible to have that kind of resource to lean on.